After 9 o'clock, we'll be talking to Jonathan Wilson about the Premier League season starting again on a Friday. But in the meantime, we are turning to Meath, who are All-Ireland football champions for the second year in a row. They beat Kerry 3-10 to 1-7 at Croke Park in the All-Ireland football final. Just over 46,000 at the game on Sunday. Later on, we'll talk to Maurice Brosnan of the 42 about the season that was. But first, very happy to say, we're joined by two of the Meath players. We have Monica McGuirk, goalkeeper. Hiya, Monica.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, very well. And Stacey Grimes, who kicked 3 points on Sunday. Stacey, you're with us as well?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Great, thanks so much for your time. I know you're all busy at the moment. Are you two standing right beside each other at some event, or are you in different parts of the county, or what's going on, Monica?
Yeah, we're actually here together. We're actually in our captain Sean Ennis's home club of Rathmolline. They just had a bit of a homecoming there for us, so huge crowd out here in Rathmolline tonight, so it's absolutely fantastic to see.
Great, and I presume, Stacey, homecoming Sunday or yesterday?
Yeah, homecoming was yesterday. Yeah, I was in the Fair Green in Navan, and it was a fantastic crowd again, and great numbers out considering the weather. So yeah, it was great to see, and so it's amazing. So it was. How
does that homecoming in year two, Stacey, compare to homecoming year one?
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I suppose in last year we didn't really get to do any homecomings. It was all going around to individual clubs. So I suppose getting out and getting to be able to actually see a big numbers out, it was really fantastic to see, and just amazing to see all the kids and everybody out.
How did year two compare to you, Monica? I guess the moment when the full-time whistle goes.
Yeah, I suppose it's spine-tingling stuff, to be honest with you. It was absolutely fantastic. You know, we knew going into the game that Kerry was going to be a massive battle, and you really put it up to us. So, you know, went right down to the very end, and, you know, it was absolutely fantastic for Sean to be walking up those Hogan steps again and lifting the trophy. And obviously even the things like Stacey's there, the homecoming, the crowds that showed up, and then even here tonight, it's absolutely fantastic. And, you know, it made it even more special this year that we actually were able to have the cup with us, you know, because obviously due to COVID restrictions and stuff last year, we weren't actually able to have the cup, so we were doing all these events without the cup. But thankfully this year we've had the cup, and it hasn't left our side since. So it's it's absolutely fantastic.
I won't ask what's been in that cup over the last couple of days.
I probably shouldn't say.
Pretty clear, Monica, to most observers that you guys saved your best performance for the most important day of the year.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, it's been a tough battle. I suppose you know, any team that we went out and played this year, their mentality is they probably want to beat the All-Ireland champions from the year before, because I know that would have been our mentality. So, you know, every day was a battle, and it wasn't an easy win, and we fought every game, and thankfully got us to the final. And yeah, absolutely, you know, we put in a great performance. Didn't start off as well as we had it liked, you know, obviously going 1-2 down. You know, we kind of had to claw that back a bit, but every girl on the pitch that day, including the subs and the extended panel, and everyone stepped up, and it was absolutely fantastic. And we're just grateful to get over the line, you know, because we knew it wasn't going to be an easy battle. So yeah, no, we're absolutely delighted and chuffed.
Stacey, did you have a sense a good performance was coming in the week? Was there anything that pointed to it, or is it always hard to know with these things?
Yeah, look, any day you go out in an All-Ireland final day, you know, you have to put your best foot forward. And I suppose, as Monica alluded to there, that we probably hadn't been hitting the heights that we would have liked to been performing in. But I suppose on All-Ireland final day, that's when you want to do it. And I suppose that's what we did, and we got. Like, we obviously had a few purple patches and kind of things like that, so it really worked out in the end, you know.
Stacey, did you find there was any kind of hangover from winning the All-Ireland first time around, or was it a different challenge mentally to regroup and go again in year two?
Yeah, like obviously, like, you know, Meath haven't won an All-Ireland ever, you know, so last year was the first time we've ever won one. So I suppose like celebrations after it were mad, you know. So I suppose we had to kind of regroup and kind of set our targets down and see where we wanted to progress. And obviously, you know, you want to be retaining your title and you want to be pushing on and winning more. And I suppose that's each girl on the panel and the management team had that in their sights. So we just took each game as it came and tried to put our best foot forward and get over the line. Thank God we did.
Yeah. Monica, did you sense that slight lull post winning the All-Ireland, trying to regroup and go again, or was your experience different to Stacey's?
Yeah, no, it's exactly what Stacey said. I suppose, you know, people asked us that question quite a lot at the start of the year, and I suppose, you know, if you look back, and, you know, our main goal was obviously to compete in Division 1 football, which we hadn't done. You know, we were coming up from Division 2, so Division 1 football was going to be a new battle in itself, even before we kind of went at the championship. So I think us winning the Division 1 set us up really well for the championship. I suppose when you look back now, of the teams that were in the semi-finals and the finals, they were all teams that won the division and won the league finals, you know, so it does stand to you come championship time. So I suppose that was our mentality, to compete in Division 1 football, and thankfully moved on and won it again against a very good, strong Donegal team. So I suppose then when we won that and then focused on championship, we knew having the back off of winning that was kind of going to help us going forward. And then obviously, we got to the Leinster final, didn't go our way, but that was a tough battle. But yeah, no, look, it was definitely a hard fought win, and we're just absolutely delighted and chuffed to get over the line.
I've seen a few of the players over the last 48 hours or so, Stacey, talking to the media and saying things like, we were written off as one season wonders, or people said we wouldn't be able to do it again, various, lines like that. Is that true? Like, were Meath actually being written off, or is this real classic siege mentality and you took the slightest hint of disrespect and turned it into something that you could use?
Yeah, look, I suppose when you win one, you always, teams are always say you have to kind of back it up with another one. So I suppose there was that element of, can they do it again? And I suppose we wanted to we knew collectively what we had in the group and the management team. We knew what we had and what we could bring. So I suppose, yeah, definitely we wanted to kind of put the nail in the coffin, as they say, to really stamp home and get our second one.
Yeah, it is amazing, Monica, how teams will hone in on the criticism and use it a bit of fuel. Because again, this was several players talking to the media at different stages over the last couple of days, and everybody said we couldn't do it again. And honestly, I'm not sure everybody did say that, but if you thought that, fair enough.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing. Like I say, everyone has their own opinions, and they're going to say what they're going to say. But we knew within the camp what a special group of players we have, and it wasn't an easy battle getting back to an All-Ireland final. Like, we were playing the likes of Armagh and Galway and Donegal, and they're top teams in the country, and they fought it right up to us. So they only came down to 2-point wins at the end of the day. So look, that was a bit of mentality that went into the camp at the start of the year, but we kind of had to just put it to one side, because we knew what was within this team, and we knew that if we performed the way we know we can perform, that we can go on and be there or thereabouts come the 31st of July, and thankfully we were. So I think that the one-hit wonder thing has been put to bed now, and to be honest with you, I think it was put to bed when we won the Division 1 league, to be honest. So yeah, look, it is what it is, and obviously people have their opinions, and that's totally fine, but look, I think now within the team and the camp and the management, that's completely not even spoken about anymore. We don't even mention it, the fact that it was one-hit wonders, because how can you say that now, and we've done back-to-back? But
were many people saying it? I didn't hear it much. That was being said?
Yeah, kind of, it was. Yeah, it was being said.
See, I feel like you two are being paranoid about this.
Maybe, no, but no, mate, like, it was. Do you know what I mean? I suppose it's been a roller coaster of a couple of years, and you didn't know what way this year was going to go, but we knew what was in this team, we knew what was in this camp, and we knew that we could go on and push on and be there or thereabouts come at the end of the season.
And Monica, further to your point, I mean, that great Cork team did their thing, and Dublin put some All-Irelands together. It does feel now as if the Ladies Football Championship is wide open in a brilliant way, like in a very exciting way.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. All you have to do is look at the fact that obviously there was no Dublin or no Cork in the final there. And I think it was 2012, I think, was the last time there was no Dublin or no Cork in a ladies' final. And it just goes to show, the competition that's out there now. And it's absolutely fantastic. So it is. And it's great to see, like, even things like semi-finals being played in Croke Park as well is absolutely fantastic. And it is great, and it's wide open, and that's ultimately the way you want it to be. You want it to be competitive with all teams, and it's definitely going in that direction.
Stacey, the whole world watched The Last Dance during COVID about the Bulls and Michael Jordan. With me this time around, Vicky Wall is Australia bound, Orla Lally is Australia bound. It seems some, if not all, the management team are departing. Eamon Murray has said he'll announce that in due course, and certainly some of the management team are leaving. To what extent was that talked about in camp, that this is maybe our last dance, this is maybe our last chance, or did you go there as a group in across the season?
To be honest, not really too much. Obviously, at the start of the year was mentioned with the management team that Paul and a few of the guys were stepping away after this year. But look, everybody has their own, they have their own adventure to go on, and I suppose it's their decision to kind of step away. I suppose this team will be, you might have one or two coming out of it or whatever, but I suppose there's still be other girls there to kind of step up and get into the team and the panel. So look, every person is entitled to their own venture, and I suppose it's the best of luck to them
because it's a great opportunity for the two girls to go over to Australia. It's a lifetime experience. And then to the management team, they obviously have other things that they would like to do maybe. So no, look, it wasn't really spoken about too much,
right.
But obviously it was mentioned at the start of the year.
Yeah. Monica, was it on your mind much across the season that this is, this particular team's last effort together, or I don't know if that's an unhealthy thing maybe to be too focused on?
No, like Stacey said, I just reiterate what she said. No, it wasn't. It was something that was common knowledge. It wasn't something that was hidden. We knew that the girls were going off and doing what they needed to do, and obviously, best of luck to them. And like they said, the management, made it very clear at the start of the season that this was going to be their final year. So I suppose when we reflect on it now, we're so happy to be able to be standing here All Ireland champions for them as well, to be walking away as All Ireland champions for the management team, because they've put on in a huge amount of effort. They've been here since 2017, and I can't say how much effort they put in, because it's just overwhelming, the workload that they do, and it's credit to them. They brought each and every player to their capabilities that they are today, and if it wasn't for them, I firmly believe we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation with you as All Ireland champions. So
yeah.
We didn't dwell on it, because like Stacey's saying, everyone has their own journey and they want to go on and do what they want to do, and absolutely best wishes to them. So like we said, we have a panel of 38 there, and there's people fighting to get in the starting 15, so now their space is going to be available come next year, which is great, and there's going to be competition for new spots, because obviously there'll be a few players leaving and stuff, so which is great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that we have the panel of the 38 that can now players can step up and step into those positions and hopefully getting a starting 15 jersey.
And how many times have players with a few drinks cornered Vicky Wall over the last couple of days and said, "Don't you dare leave"?
I think you'd have to ask her that question. She's been very quiet about it, but she's enjoying her week, and same as Orla Lally. Obviously as a team, and myself and Stacey, I'm sure would agree, we will miss them. They're a huge part of the team, and like just Stacey was saying, it's a journey that they have to go on, and we wish them all the best and every success in Australia.
A brief word on the game, Monica. I guess it's not really in all your visualisation and all your kind of thoughts on the game the night before to be picking the ball out of the net early on. It never seemed as a group like you were overly rattled or lost your composure. It didn't seem like, sometimes those early goals for an opposition can almost make a team think, oh God, no, here we go, it's one of those days. That never really seemed to creep into the Meath body language.
No, and obviously, no keeper likes to be getting lobbed either. So, I suppose for me personally, I kind of had to just put it out of my head, because if I had have dwelled on that, I wouldn't have been able to go on and stay focused for the rest of the game. And I suppose that's how all the other players stay focused. If we make a mistake, we have to just forget about it and pick ourselves up and go again. And that's what, the panel of 1 to 38 does on the day. If we make a mistake, I know when the ball went in over my head, I turned to Mary Kay, she's like, "Monica, just forget about it, move on, just go for the next ball." And that's what every single player does on the team, from the full forward line, in the midfield, and then every player that comes on, and then the subs. So, like you said, it didn't faze us, because we knew we had it in us there to pull it back, and thankfully we did.
To be fair, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think it was a deliberate lob. I thought, point was the intended...
I think so, yeah. But sure, look...
you still think, oh crap, I've been lobbed?
Yeah, I just remember the ball going over my head. I was like, that's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So I did. But sure, look, these things happen as a goalkeeper, and these things happen, and you have to just get on with them. I suppose that's the experience of, I've been playing in goals now most of my life, and I've conceded worse goals than that, so I just kind of had to get on with it.
Okay. It doesn't help when Stacey shouts, "What are you doing?" from halfway up the pitch.
No, don't do that.
Stacey, nice to kick 3 points in an All-Ireland final, I would think. Do you manage to enjoy an occasion like that and think to yourself, wow, this is pretty cool, or are you too lost in a game at all times?
Yeah, no, I suppose we've been fortunate enough to be in Croke Park a good few times, so I suppose you kind of have to take in the scenes and kind of stuff like that. But obviously when you're in the game, you're focused in on the task at hand, and it's always the next ball, like Monica said. It's always the next play, and no matter if you do well or you make a mistake, it's always that next bit, because, it goes quite fast in Croke Park, and, you want to make the best when you're there count. So, it's good.
Well, listen, guys, I thank you so much for giving up your time. I'm sure lots of people around, and you've friends and family to spend time with. So thank you so much for coming live on the show this evening. Monica McGuirk, goalkeeper. Thanks very much, Monica.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, great to have you on. And Stacey Grimes as well, All-Ireland winner once again. Stacey, thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. So Monica McGuirk, Stacey Grimes of Meath, 2-time All-Ireland winners there with us live on the line.